Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my name is Nur Azimah binti Muhammad Yusuf. Okay, my number ID is AM2011008106. Okay, now I want to preview my movie. I choose is Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Okay. The Bajrangi Bhaijaan film was released in 2050 and was directed by director. The director is name is Kabir Khan and Kabir Khan. Okay. The actor leading the character in the film is Salman Khan, Kareena Kapoor, Harshali Malhotra, and many more. Okay. The name character for Salman Khan is Pawan, and Kareena Kapoor is Rasika, and Harshina Malhotra is Shahida or Muni. Again, Bajrangi Bhaijaan managed to bring the issue between Pakistan and Hindustan very well. Okay. Moreover, the film tried to cover religious information about the relationship between Hindustan and Pakistan, which was intended in such a special is as well as bad view of the each other. Not one that due to the problem, the citizens who went to cross the border by between Pakistan and Hindustan had to visa, and it's a quite difficulty to get a visa to cross the border due to immediate between Hindustan and Pakistan. In addition, the role of the little girl Shahida, which is a big premise in this film. Okay, for the signification, the movie is the importance of the film is mutual respect for each other despite having the reasons different and being able to bring good alive. For example, in this film, it use tolerance others religions by expect each of the different from the worship, as well as respecting others' religions and practical. A part of that, Pawan's family and also respect Pawan's decision to send Muni or Shahida back to her parents' arms, even though Pawan has crossed the border between India and between Pakistan and Hindustan illegally. Okay, and number two is the next is the attitude of love for each other must be in everyone, even with the people of different religions. Okay, for example, when Pawan finished the processions of in a criminal's Pawan rested at the start to eat before going home. Incidentally, Pawan sees Shahida, who seeded to see him, but when Pawan lifted his drink cup, Shahida runs toward Pawan and drank the drink that was in the cup. Due to that, Pawan found out that Shahida was hungry, and Pawan brought Shahida food for Shahida to eat. Although Pawan did not know Shahida, but because of her love for the small child, Pawan helped her. Lastly, create an attitude of help each other regardless of whatever response will be received. And as example in this film, a journalist helped Pawan at the time Pawan was detained by the police while in the Pakistan, a special suspensions of being a spy from India. Next, the reporter released that Pawan's sincerity in come to Pakistan was only to escort Shahida to his family, but we mistake from the spy. summary of a movie is Bajraj Manja narrated an India man with a generous heart and bring a mute 6 years old Pakistan girl back to her homeland to reunite her with her family. A little mute girl from a Pakistan village get the loss of honor her return from the trip on to India. In Kurukshetra, he met Pawan, unfaithfully worship of a Lord Hanuman, who is facing a challenge posed by his beloved father. Okay. In an effort to find the girl's parents, she built an unshakable bond with them. He tried to instill Pakistan through the right path to his conscience, and later was accompanied by the news report. The film began feature the family of a girl. Shahida was described as a village in a mountain area in Pakistan. Shahida is not spoken suburb, and her family decided to take Shahida to the shrine in India to pray so that she could speak after an incident that nearly claimed Shahida's life, where Shahida fell from a mountain and he hung on a tree. Because he was mute, the village almost failed to find him hanging from a tree. Okay. On the way back from India, the train is stopped with the image. Shahida was who see a god stuck down from a train to help. While we tried to help the god, the train suddenly moved and caused him to be filled that is between the India-Pakistan border area. Her mother was late at the time, and even Shahida see her mother by the window as she runs to catch the rain waving her hand, and she could not scream for help as she was mute. Shortly afterward, a freight train stopped at the same place, and this gave hope to Shahida to continue her journey according to previous and train. However, the train actually turned back and took him into India. In India, Shahida met Pawan Kumar, who was a kid-hurt man and very devout to his religion. Is a Hindu. The kind-hearted man was admitted to cry girl was to not up to the her to love her alone. After learning the girl could not speak, was originally from Pakistan and alone in India, Pawan decided to reunite Shahida with her family by any means. At the time, Pawan gave many names to Shahida because they not know her real name because she was silent. But some problem faced by Pawan when she does not have a passport. Does not know the village. The city women Muni live in Pakistan. Never live and he is a vegetarian. While everyone support India, Muni cheered for Pakistan and celebrate Pakistan better. From there, they know Muni was a Pakistan as a Muni from legends. Pawan found out after the incident that he come across Muni eating chicken at the neighbor's house and see Muni praying in the Mosque. They get a passport from Muni that so that can be sent back to his place to regions. Many things happen. Life like a Muni is almost like a bordered because a man was a check on Pawan. Those do not passport and too much trouble get a passport from the Indian government. Pawan decided to cross India-Pakistan border illegally with the help of exists in the film. From positive development is the kind attitude that is a person to help people who are trouble even though the person from a different religion. For example, Rasika's family give Shahida to life in their house when even though First, they did not know Shahida's true origins. Not only that, because Shahida could not speak and could not tell her real name, then Pawan gave her her name with the name Muni. And in addition, they are also Shahida like their own family, like feeding, shelter, and clothes from Muni. From the second positive development is keep promise made by someone like a Pawan promised Shahida to take her back to her parents. After no he origins will Rasika families was watching the baseball match and the baseball match between Pakistan and Hindustan. When the baseball match was won by Pakistan, Shahida cheers happily and Rasika's family was shocked when Shahida cheers for Pakistan, and that when Pawan and Rasika's family found out the money was from Pakistan. After the incident, Rasika's family was angry and asked Pawan to take him back to his family in Pakistan. The next day, Pawan took Shahida to the place to bring visa to escort money home, but problem arose when the office did not believe that the children was from Pakistan, and they did not know with her life and Muni's first name to that. Pawan tried all means to take Shahida home until Pawan decided to take her home, but across the borders illegal. The negative development in this film is taking something without the permission of the someone in change. For example, Shahida took a burqat when she went out with Pawan at the market with the Pawan's knowledge because Shahida really liked a burqat. Also, when Shahida was eating at Pawan's house, Pawan's family was a vegetarians and Shahida went to eat chicken. Shahida could not eat the food prepared by Pawan family because Shahida inhaled fried chicken and left the house without Pawan's knowledge. When the Pawan returned, Rasika's family informed Shahida was missing and Pawan went out to look for her. Look for her. Then they see Shahida at Rasika's neighbor's house and eating fried chicken with the family. In addition, they also know that Shahida is a Muslim. In the film, we can release it to Piaget connection theory because it is said that every child has their own development pattern. For the reason, children in sensory regards not only have a different level of ability but also different speed of their cognitive development. The conclusion found in the family is that each of these children has different behavior and developments in their life. And in addition, also children have problems in terms of speech, but these children can also learn through various means such as from the environment experience that occur around them. Therefore, what a parent or adult should help these children for behavior that can have a positive impact and developments in the life of these children. Not only that, they have the behavior that happened to them from what happened in their environment. In this film, as well, there are many behavior that can have a positive impact on children because every negative behavior that happens to children may stem from what is happened in their own environment. Okay, for the suggestions, the suggestion that can give from the storylines, storytellings is about misunderstandings because every problem that happen outside will affect the young children. So moreover, preventing fight from happening in front of children because to age these children is not good for their development.